Matthew chapter 5. Jesus gives blessings. Jesus saw the crowds, so he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him. Then he began to teach them. He said, "Blessed are those who are spiritually needy. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Blessed are those who are sad. They will be comforted. Blessed are those who are free of pride. They will be given the earth. Blessed are those who are hungry and thirsty for what is right. They will be filled. Blessed are those who show mercy. They will be shown mercy. Blessed are those whose hearts are pure. They will see God. Blessed are those who make peace. They will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who suffer for doing what is right. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Blessed are you when people make fun of you and hurt you because of me. You are also blessed when they tell all kinds of evil lies about you because of me. Be joyful and glad. Your reward in heaven is great. In the same way, people heard the prophets who lived long ago. Salt and light. You are the salt of the earth, but suppose the salt lose its saltiness. How can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything. It will be thrown out. People will walk all over it. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Also, people do not light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on its stand. Then it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine in front of others. Then they will see the good things you do, and they will praise your Father who is in heaven. Jesus gives full meaning to the law. Do not think I have come to get rid of what is written in the law or in the prophets. I have not come to do that. Instead, I have come to give full meaning to what is written. What I am about to tell you is true. Heaven and earth will disappear before the smallest letter disappears from the law. Not even the smallest stroke of a pen will disappear from the law until everything is completed. Do not break even one of the least important commandments, and do not teach others to break them. If you do, you will be called the least important person in the kingdom of heaven. Instead, practice and teach these commands. Then you will be called important in the kingdom of heaven. Here is what I tell you. You must be more godly than the Pharisees and the teachers of the law. If you are not, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. Murder. You have heard what was said to people who lived long ago. They were told, "Do not commit murder." Exodus chapter 20, verse 13. Anyone who murders will be judged for it. But here is what I tell you. Do not be angry with your brother. Anyone who is angry with his brother will be judged. Again, anyone who says to his brother, "Raka," must stand trial in the Sanhedrin. But anyone who says, "You fool," will be in danger of the fire in hell. Suppose you are offering your gift at the altar, and you remember that your brother has something against you. Leave your gift in front of the altar. First go and make peace with your brother. Then come back and offer your gift. Suppose someone has a claim against you and is taking you to court. Settle the matter quickly. Do it while you are still with him on your way. If you don't, he may hand you over to the judge. The judge may hand you over to the officer, and you may be thrown into prison. What I am about to tell you is true. You will not get out until you have paid the very last penny. Adultery. You have heard that it was said, "Do not commit adultery." Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. But here's what I tell you. Do not even look at a woman in the wrong way. Anyone who does has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, poke it out and throw it away. Your eye is only one part of your body. It is better to lose it than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. Your hand is only one part of your body. It is better to lose it than for your whole body to go into hell. Divorce. It has been said, suppose a man divorces his wife. If he does, he must give her a letter of divorce. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1. But here's what I tell you. Anyone who divorces his wife causes her to commit adultery, and anyone who gets married to the divorced woman commits adultery. A man may divorce his wife only if she has not been faithful to him. Oaths. Again, you have heard what was said to your people long ago. They were told, do not break the promises you made to the Lord. Keep the oaths you have made to him. But here's what I tell you. Do not make any promises like that at all. Do not make them in the name of heaven. That is God's throne. Do not make them in the name of the earth. That is the stool for God's feet. Do not make them in the name of Jerusalem. That is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath in the name of your head. You can't make even one hair white or black. Just let your yes mean yes, and let your no mean no. Anything more than this comes from the evil one. Be kind to others. You have heard that it was said, an eye must be put out for an eye, a tooth must be knocked out for a tooth. Exodus chapter 21, verse 24, Leviticus chapter 24, 20, Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 21. But here's what I tell you. Do not fight against an evil person. Suppose someone hits you on your right cheek. Turn your other cheek to him also. Suppose someone takes you to the court to get your shirt. Let him have your coat also. Suppose someone forces you to go 2 miles with him. Give to the one who asks you for something. Don't turn away from the one who wants to borrow something from you. Love your enemies. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Hate your enemy. But here's what I tell you. Love your enemies. Pray for those who hurt you. Then you will be sons of your Father who is in heaven. He causes his sun to shine on evil people and good people. He sends rain on those who do right and those who don't. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Even the tax collectors do that. If you greet only your own people, what more are you doing than others? Even people who are ungodly do that. So be perfect. So just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew chapter 6. Giving to needy people. Be careful not to do good works in front of others. Don't do them to be seen by others. If you do, your Father in heaven will not reward you. When you give to needy people, do not announce it by having trumpets blown. Do not be like those who only pretend to be holy. They announce what they do in the synagogues and on the streets. They want to be honored by others. What I'm about to tell you is true. They have received their complete reward. When you give to the needy, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Then your giving will be done secretly. Your Father will reward you. He sees what you do secretly. Prayer. When you pray, do not be like those who only pretend to be holy. They love to stand and pray in the synagogues and on the street corners. They want to be seen by others. What I'm about to tell you is true. They have received their complete reward. When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who can't be seen. He will reward you. Your Father sees what is done secretly. When you pray, do not keep talking on and on the way ungodly people do. They think they will be heard because they talk a lot. Do not be like them. Your Father knows what you need even before you ask him. This is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, may your name be honored. May your kingdom come. May what you want to happen be done, on earth as it is done in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, just as we also have forgiven those who sin against us. Keep us from falling into sin when we are tempted. Save us from the evil one. Forgive people when they sin against you. If you do, your Father who is in heaven will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive people their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. Fasting. When you go without eating, do not look gloomy like those people who only pretend to be holy. They make their faces very sad. They want to show people they are fasting. What I'm about to tell you is true. They have received their complete reward. But when you go without eating, put olive oil on your head. Wash your face. Now others will not know that you are fasting. Only your Father, who can't be seen, will know it. He will reward you. Your Father sees what is done secretly. Put away riches in heaven. Do not put away riches for yourself on earth. Moth and rust can destroy them. Thieves can break in and steal them. Instead, put away riches for yourself in heaven. There, moths and rust do not destroy them. There, thieves do not break in and steal them. Your heart will be where your riches are. The eye is like a lamp for the body. Suppose your eyes are good, then your whole body will be full of light. But suppose your eyes are bad, then your whole body will be full of darkness. If the light inside you is darkness, then it is very dark. No one can serve two masters at the same time. He will hate one of them and love the other, or he will be faithful to one and dislike the other. You can't serve God and money at the same time. Do not worry. I tell you, do not worry. Don't worry about your life and what you will eat or drink. And don't worry about your body and what you will wear. Isn't there more to life than eating? Aren't there more important things for the body than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They don't plant or gather crops. They don't put away crops in storerooms. But your Father who is in heaven feeds them. Aren't you worth much more than they are? Can you add even 1 hour to your life by worrying? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers grow. They don't work or make clothing. But here's what I tell you. Not even Solomon in all of his glory was just like one of those flowers. If that is how God dresses the wild grass, won't he dress you even better? After all, the grass is here only today. Tomorrow it is thrown into the fire. Your faith is so small. So don't worry. Don't say, what will we eat? Or what will we drink? Or what will we wear? People who are ungodly run after all of those things. Your Father who is in heaven knows that you need them. But put God's kingdom first. Do what he wants you to do. Then all of those things will also be given to you. So don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Matthew chapter 7. Be fair when you judge others. Do not judge others. Then you will be not judged. You will be judged in the same way you judge others. You will be measured in the same way you measure others. You look at the bit of sawdust in your friend's eye, but you pay no attention to the piece of wood in your own eye. How can you say to your friend, let me take the bit of sawdust out of your eye? And how can you say this while there is a piece of wood in your own eye? You pretender. First take the piece of wood out of your own eye. Then you will be able to see clearly to take the bit of sawdust out of your friend's eye. Do not give holy things to dogs. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they might walk all over them. Then they might turn around and tear you to pieces. Ask, search, knock. Ask and it will be given to you. Search and you will be found. Knock and the door will be opened to you. Everyone who asks will receive. He who searches will find. The door will be open to the one who knocks. Suppose your son asks for bread. Which of you will give him a stone? Or suppose he asks for a fish. Which of you will give him a snake? Even though you are evil, you know how to give good gifts to your children. How much more will your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? And everything do to others what you would want them to do to you. This is what is written in the law and in the prophets. The large and small gates. Enter God's kingdom through the narrow gate. The gate is large and the road is wide that leads to death and hell. Many people go that way, but the gate is small and the road is narrow that lead to life. Only a few people find it. A tree and its fruit. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you pretending to be sheep, but on the inside they are hungry wolves. You can't tell what they really are by what they do. Do people pick grapes from bushes? Do they pick figs from thorns? In the same way, every good tree bears a good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree can't even bear bad fruit, and a bad tree can't bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down. It is thrown into the fire. You can tell each tree by its fruit. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who do what my Father in heaven wants will enter. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we drive out demons in your name? Didn't we do many miracles in your name? Then I will tell them clearly, I never knew you. Get away from me, you who do evil. The wise and foolish builders. So then everyone who hears my words and puts them into practice is like a wise man. He builds his house on the rock. The rain comes down, the water rises, the wind blows and beats against the house, but it does not fall. It is built on that rock. But even who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man. He built his house on sand. The rain comes down, the water rises, the winds blow and beat against that house, and it falls with a loud crash. Jesus finished saying all these things. The crowds were amazed at his teaching. He taught like one who had authority. He did not speak like their teacher of the law.